the show that brings you economic equity for everyone every day with your host, Debra Gould. Yes, I am Debra Washington Gould, President and CEO of Debra Gould and Associate Inc. DGAI is a New Orleans-based management, consulting, and performance management business founded in 1996, celebrating 27 years. As a small business owner, it's a priority of mine to support others, especially minority, small, and women owned businesses. So here's my big why. My desire is greater than my fears. Do you? What do you imagine possible? There are no limits to what I can do and capable in doing. That's my big why. And there's more to my big why. Do the hard things, Deborah. Reach out, reach back, and help others. Mm-hmm. This universe offers enough possibilities. There are talents, skills, and brilliant entrepreneurs out here looking for their opportunity. If I can use this platform, the Hustle Skirt platform, to elevate and bring equity and creativity and innovation to the business community, because companies like Ethel Harris, my guest today, can bring more team members to her vision and her company. So I do the hard things, y'all. And it's also about I have to change the narrative in my head. Many, many years ago, I decided there is enough abundance. So I come from an abundance mentality. You see, scarcity mentality, they're not about partnering. We can have a huge project. It's possible, y'all, for us to do a joint venture, a partner to go after, making a difference as entrepreneurs. That's why when I have guests in the same space with those nurturing and kind relationships that I'm building in part of my tribe, they also think about abundance mentality and understand the game changer. We have to partner. We have to be for each other and support each other. So that is what the Hustle Skirt is all about. With that thought in mind, Debra Gould and Associate, my request, and here is your invitation to as my guest. I want you to visit my website at www.gouldassociates.com, where you can learn more about my professional service offerings in management consulting, training, facilitating, business, motivational keynoting, and executive coaching. So that's the bread and butter of Debra Gould and Associate Inc. But today, my mission and my purpose is to keep showcasing and spotlighting entrepreneurs throughout the United States and globally. But today, I am blessed and what a privilege to have Ethel Harris, facetlabs.com, with me today. So the mission, again, for those who are just watching the Hustle Skirt for the very first time, is to promote, communicate, and amplify the influence of men and women entrepreneurs for profit businesses. You heard me right, for profit businesses. Yes, I'm going to have on occasion a C-suite or high executive with a corporation or nonprofit organization. This Hustle Skirt podcast will be an opportunity for the owner of Fastest Labs. Here's an opportunity for the interviewing guests to connect with and market their services to the listening audience today. The Hustle Skirt guests, just like myself, without a doubt, we did not live this long and strong to be put on the back shelf. So we know how to hustle, hustle, hustle every day, because we clearly know that when it comes to hustle in a positive way, we never give up. Don't take no for an answer. We believe in ourselves. Be confident, be bold, be courageous, be strong, and stay focused. It's all about prosperity, but we can also reach back and help others and to be of service to all mankind. So, with that being said, it is my pleasure today to introduce to everyone in the sound of my voice my guest today. First, I get to say, welcome, Ethel.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for, man, asking me to come on and encouraging me to come on and do this with Hustle Skirt. I'm loving it. This is my
It is
first
about
one.
entrepreneurs like you. You have a unique service that I want to showcase and let others know about you. When I hear your conversation, I hear the passion, your earnest conviction to make a difference in the business community. So I'm going to be persistent about asking you to be my guest on the Hustle Skirt. So, with that being said, I would like to share your credential with my audience. Ethel Harris, an RN with 27 years of experience and an entrepreneur since 2013, recently opened fastest lab of Metairie and New Orleans, Louisiana, Westbank. Passionate about travel, Ethel aspires to explore more of the world alongside her husband Chris. That's wonderful. What a vision. Every once in a while, you guys think about it, you may want to just take me along too. Because
Yeah.
I have a bucket list here, Ethel. So it might be similar to where you're planning to go. But that
Yep.
sounds so exciting. So once again, I just like to share with everyone. So when this interview is over, I want you to know how to reach Ethel Harris. The contact information, her email, with her permission, Ethel.h at fasteslabs.com. And the website will probably have everything when you visit it. fasteslabs.com/Metairie. And Metairie is Metairie. All one word. And the office number, you gotta give her a ring. 504-766-0880. So here we go, Ethel. This is your moment.
Okay.
I have been so eager for this opportunity to interview my friend, my business colleague. So my first question, because I would love to hear more about Fastest Lab too. Tell me about yourself.
So, introduction, I'm a nurse by background, been married for 31 years, adult kids, want to travel in my lifetime. But with COVID, everybody was sitting down. Everybody was kind of thinking about life. And at that point, I was actually sitting down as well. And just in between, I thought, I've got to do something. I got to keep my brain going, right? The word retirement means something different to me. It doesn't mean, I think, what it used to mean, which is, okay, I can relax and then I'm just going to be at home and I'm just going to travel a little bit and be at home. I know from being a nurse, from having in-laws that are in their 70s and 80s, from having a mom that's in her 70s, when you keep going, you last longer. So based on that, I was like, I got to do something with myself. One of the things that people will tell you is, in order for you to have longevity, in order for you to keep your sense of self, in order for you to continue to learn and grow in this world, you've got to, what can I say? You've got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, right? You've got to learn something new all the time. And so I decided to go into an industry that was really unique and really different, drug testing. And as a nurse, I don't know much about drug testing. That's not what I did when I was in the hospital, right? That's usually laboratory. But I just decided to do something different because I'm working with employers, I'm working with counselors for rehabilitative treatment, I'm working with parents that, with DNA and wanting to find out, is this my kid? Is this my sister? Is this my grandchild? Because it just leads to so many different things. And so for me, stepping out into something new was just about continuing to grow. And it has been for the last not quite year and a half, but almost year and a half. It's been challenging, but that's the only way you grow. So
Absolutely.
I opened up Fastest Labs of Metairie in 2021 and open up Fastest Labs of NOLA-Westbank this year in 2023. And we are just moving and grooving and trying to drug test the whole of New Orleans.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And may the good Lord continue to prosper you for maybe a third location and so many statewide of Louisiana,
yes,
and even expand
existence.
your boundaries. That was an excellent response to my question. Tell me something about yourself. So I got to hear your why in terms of understanding the aging of your in-laws and your mother, and that need is certainly needed in our community because employers need drug testing, and then you do have the credential. Your background in nursing have served you well. So obviously, Ethel, you're doing something great to take that giant leap and starting up not your first, but a second location. Wonderful, wonderful. We're going to keep it going. You're doing marvelous, madam. So I would like to also ask you about what is the hardest part of being an entrepreneur?
I think for me, since I've been doing this for since 2013, not initially in drug testing. Initially, I was in home care and then shifted gears. But I think the hardest part for me is sometimes you feel like you're on an island. It's really hard to, what can I say? I guess to reach out and discuss what you're having issues with, what your challenges are, because those people that know your issues and your challenges, most of the time they're your competitors, right? And so there aren't very many people out there that you're competing against in this space that are going to actually reach out and help you, right? And talk you through things. But in the past, I've been so blessed to be able to find those exact people that were competitors that didn't necessarily tell me trade secrets, but that encouraged me, right? So the hardest part, I think, is feeling like you're alone, especially when you're going through something, especially if you don't know the best way to work something out. Second guessing yourself, because that's what you do on an island. Who else are you going to talk to? You're kind of mulling it around in your head all the time, right? And so, yeah, for me, that's been the most difficult thing, because what's got to happen is you've got to know who you are. You've got to dig deep, and you've got to, and this is me, seek his counsel and everything, pray about it, even the most minuscule things, right? That's just me, and move forward. And when you move forward and do something, I found you can't second guess your decision, right? Absolutely. You have to commit. There is no, but if I had done this, then it would have been like this.
Not you don't in the world of an entrepreneur. But, right. But those are some good comments that give me an opportunity. Don't forget my professional services as executive coaching. I'm here for you when you want to talk through some of those things, Ethel. Yes. But describing in your industry that there are competitors. And I said earlier, for me, it's about coming from a space of abundance mentality. So those who are in your space and that you're reaching out to, I am so happy to hear that they're willing to share some of their wisdom and knowledge about the industry. Because the opposite of that, when it comes to scarcity, mentality, they'll leave you hanging. Something they could have said to you in 3 seconds, 3 days, they'll leave it out there for 3 months or never. And so I'm glad that you're surrounding yourself with the right people on your journey of this new profession and business to help you. And that's wonderful. So that was a good response to the hardest part of being an entrepreneur, when you probably had a very discipline as an RN. You know what your core day, but now as an entrepreneur, you're juggling
all over the place,
and
all over the place.
The business development, having to market, having to provide the service that
Right.
that employee need, some screening or drug tests, knowing how to balance it all and still find me time. So I like the way you responded to that question. One more question before you leave me today. At what point did you look at your business and consider it a success? Would you please share that with my audience today?
Yeah, well, so this is a new business, so I'm not there yet, but it's starting. But with my last business, I owned that business for 7 years before I sold that business. And I sold that business at a point to where it had never done as well as it had done. Over the course of the 7 years, it continued to grow. And in that 7 years, what I did was I built a culture that I was proud of. And it was a family atmosphere. It was an honor system. It was not getting into anybody's business, minding your own, but an open door policy. It was such a positive culture. And this is in my head what I want to create. I want to create a culture so that any employee that I have that works with me and leaves misses what they had, thinks about what they had, knows that there is a better way for an office environment, an employee environment to be. They know there's something better because they've experienced it. So if anybody leaves, I need to be missed, because if I'm not missed, I didn't do my job. And believe me, baby, they all miss me. And I miss them too. And it goes both ways. Yes. But that's when you know you've done it, right? Because as entrepreneurs, I had to get this straight, and I did. And I promise you, the Lord put this on my heart. This is not for me. This is not for me. The people that I put around me, the people that I bring on, they may come and go, but I want them to see something. I want them to see, guess what? Man, she just told us she doesn't know what she's doing. We're all sharing ideas. You know what? 2 heads are better than 1, and 3 are a bonus. Come on in here, everybody. I don't know how to handle this situation. All of us people in here, we've had different life experiences. What are we going to do? How are we going to pull this together and make this work for this business, right?
Ooh,
and so that's culture. And so for me, that's the biggest thing is building a culture. And that's when I knew that I've got a successful business. Look at this culture. People enjoy coming to work.
In my organizational culture training, you just spoke so powerfully about the importance of culture. You have to teach it. You have to build it. You have to live it.
Right.
And you just said it so beautifully and only in Ethel way. And I value that so much. So I just want to remind you, powerful lady, that Hustle Skirt podcast is designed for guests like you to appreciate, value, and celebrate what you're putting out there. And you're putting some good stuff out there, Ethel. And I hope you're having just as much fun as I'm listening. And I know that my audience is going to get so much from this today. Would you believe we're at the end of this interview? But before I close out, would you take a moment to share fasteslab.com, contact information, the website and email and phone number where
Sure.
others can reach out to you who may need, some employer listening may
Right.
need your services.
Absolutely. So my name is Ethel Harris, and it's spelled Ethel. A lot of people misspell Ethel. So Ethel Harris, Harris. And if you Google Fastest Labs of Metairie, and Debra was great saying Metairie, because people misspell that all the time, and Fastest Labs of NOLA-Westbank or New Orleans, you're going to see me. Our website for Metairie is fastestlabs.com/Metairie/. New Orleans is fastestlabs.com. That's www.fastestlabs.com, New Orleans /. So you can find me online. The number Debra mentioned was 504-766-0880. And my email, Ethel, Ethel.h @fastestlabs.com. Holler at me, y'all. We're ready to drug test.
Love it. Now, Ethel is someone that I met at the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We also play golf together. Offline, I have to tell you about the upcoming October 13th and some things that we're going to plan to do before the golf tournament. Also, I would like folks to know the two of us was recently at the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Louisiana Business Conference, and we had a chance to hang out and visit so many different corporations and other vendors and entrepreneurs who are doing their things every day. So we had a chance to do a photo together. So I was really excited about reconnecting with you today. And so I'm blessed. I hope you had fun today, Ethel.
I did,
certainly
Debra.
had a
Thank you.
chance to create this platform. So I know what it is that you do. I learned even more today through how important culture is for you, what you're planning to do with your hubby, Chris, in the future to travel.
There we go.
And, and the fact that you have grown since the first time we have met, Metairie, as well as a New Orleans location. All I can say, I'm happy for you, Ethel.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me today.
So as I close out today, the Hustle Skirt objective is to empower you to speak up, speak with power, embrace change in your own vision, mission, and purpose, and get fired up with your own passion, just the way we heard Ethel Harris today. Make sure to visit our website at www.persistencelane.com, where you can subscribe to the Hustle Skirt podcast, 9 different platforms. Just to name a few, to find Ethel Harris, fasteslab.com, iHeartRadio, Amazon FM, Google Podcasts, just to name a few. And while you edit, if you enjoyed this interview today and it brought value and purpose for you on this podcast, we would certainly appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you just tell a friend, I know Ethel Harris. I didn't know she had a place in Metairie and New Orleans. My company is looking for a new company for their drug testing. Please pass on the good news, because she certainly mentioned her website many, many times in the interview. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're listening to the Hustle Skirt podcast, the show that brings you economic equity for everyone every day, with your host, Debra Gould. Ethel, until we meet again, take care, my friend.
Thank you again.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.